I think I've said this on record, and I really mean it. If right now you think Trump's doing a good job, you're you're so stupid. It's crazy. Yeah. Like we're in a legal war. Like what they're doing when I promise you what's happening in ICE.
Yeah.
No good, brother.
No
good. They're not covering it right now. But
right.
but look, as long as, and I'm not even saying if you voted for Trump, I'm friends with people who voted for Trump. If they're like, maybe we kind of doing this.
You'd like my group chat now.
I would
my
love
group chat is already...
The fact that even your group chat is like, uh-oh.
So Stavroshalkias has officially become comedy's friend-fired prosecutor, because in the span of about 1 week, he took shots at Tom Segura's divorce, torched Joe Rogan's comedy mothership, and put the entire Austin comedy scene on notice. And the best part? He's about to drop his second Netflix special, Uncle Stav, next month, which means he's going to have to sit across from most of these guys and say it to their face. Because that's the thing about Stavros. He's not some outsider throwing stones. He's actually friends with every single person he's dragging. Normally, when a comedian's friend is going through a messy public divorce, you let it breathe. You don't turn it into a bit on a podcast with millions of downloads. That's the unwritten rule. But that's not what Stavros did. Because Stavros has known Tom Segura and Christina P. For years, he was even trusted to co-host Two Bears, One Cave while Tom was away. And none of that stopped him. Stavros has built his whole identity on being the one purist left, the guy who still values artistic integrity over the algorithm, who'll cross political lines to keep the room honest. Which matters, because right now, comedy's biggest podcast moguls are all quietly rebranding as businessmen, and Stavros is the one person willing to say it out loud, no matter who it costs him. Take the mothership set. Stavros went down to Joe Rogan's club in Austin, the room built on comics playing it safe for an audience that wants anti-woke material, and he ran his Elon Musk jokes anyway. According to Stavros, the room didn't laugh. It turned on him. He said the crowd was genuinely upset that he'd go after their guy. And notice what that proves.
What I like about, what I'm very thankful about you and I, not only our friendship, but when we came into the comedy scene, is we are not really part of the division of comedy. Like now guys who are a little bit younger, it's like, I hate so-and-so forever, but I kind of feel like, hey, if it's comedy first, maybe I don't agree with you politically or whatever, but like we can all get along and it can be fine. Yeah. But that's changing for the youth, which is kind of sad to see.
It's a little sad to see. I mean, it is interesting. I do think I think there are a couple problems. Number one, yes, we're so divided that people won't even be friends with someone they don't agree with politically, which is a problem. And also, I think it's also a problem artistically to only perform for people that agree with you. Yeah. Right? Like, I love the mothership. Look, I haven't talked to those guys in a while since I've been talking about how, and truly, I was disappointed with how much they were sucking Trump off at Austin, right? Yeah. And I think it was a big mistake, and I think, but look, I don't hate those guys because they are my friends who I am just like, can we talk about this, please? Yeah. And look, if we talk about it, and they're like, you're a pussy, whatever, but like, look, I'm not saying it is impossible for the bonds of community to break down if half your community insists on supporting fascism, right? I mean, ICE is literally disappearing people, and and Trump is a pedophile, right? Allegedly, whatever. But I do think that you should not seal yourself off from the opportunity to interact with people who you don't agree with. Right. I love the mothership because I went down there and when I was working on my last special, I did it in Austin. Right. So to run a couple jokes, I went to the mothership beforehand, and I had a lot of where I was on Elon Musk. And if you do that here, you don't even have to have a joke. Yeah. Everyone will fucking applaud, right? But you did that. I did it there. They were mad. Half the people were pissed that I was attacking their boy. And you should learn how to make your jokes bulletproof in those scenarios too.
It's not that the mothership is edgy. It's the opposite. It's a room that only rewards material that flatters the people already in charge. The second Stavros pointed the joke somewhere the audience didn't want it pointed, the room turned hostile. That's not a comedy club. That's an echo chamber with a cover charge. And this is just the warm-up. Because Stavros wasn't just testing a bit that night, he was quietly building the case he'd bring to Tom Segura next. So here's the next piece. Stavros tells the story of opening for Tom Segura at the United Center, arena show, one of the biggest rooms in comedy. Tom kills. And within 5 seconds of walking off stage, someone's already handing him a clipboard. Food and beverage numbers, merch splits, profit margins. Stavros's read on that moment is blunt. Comedians turning into businessmen sucks. That's not who they were supposed to be.
Let me tell you something right now. Out of all the people we know, and we know a lot of people who are making real money, and we're at the point now, we've been doing this so long, where it's like we've watched our peers become moguls. Some of them become moguls, and it's just one of those things where, but Tom, out of all of them, is the shrewdest. Like, Tom is one of those guys. When I was talking to Tom once, I did a show with him. I opened up for him at the freaking United Center, right? He killed whatever. And then immediately after, you know, I was like, how'd you like the show? Tom was like, oh, it was great. Within 5 seconds, somebody came up to him with a clipboard and was going over the F&B, the merchandise, the food and beverage, the merchandise, and basically the profit in, the numbers in, numbers out.
See, respect, but I didn't do comedy like that. Like, that sucks.
Yeah.
I think the business, the like comedians becoming businessmen sucks.
Yeah.
That's not who the we are. We're not smart, and we're not business guys.
That's why Christina wanted the divorce.
Why can't we just be fun? Yeah. Look, I don't want to. I will not get no conjecture here. Those are actual friends of ours going through a public divorce. I do not envy them.
Yeah.
But look, I will say, everyone's looking at it from the fat
rich
guy
and
loses
hot.
weight.
Yeah.
He divorced. Do you think it's fun? Who do you think it's more fun to be married to?
Yeah.
A fun fat guy or a guy on peptides?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if you had to pick in your old age, like, that's what I'm banking on.
100%.
For me, the prime of my life, I've known since I was a boy, is going to be my 40s.
Oh yeah.
As a child, you look at me and you're like, that child should be bald, obese, with a bad back, and that will be the prime of his life. You could see it in my face.
And that's the pattern starting to surface. Because Stavros isn't describing one bad night. He's describing a guy who can't even enjoy killing a room anymore without a spreadsheet showing up first. He's still fun, he's still funny, but somebody's still fun. Then it gets personal. While Tom Segura is going through his divorce from Christina P., a split he hasn't said one public word about, Stavros is on a podcast joking that Tom's been quietly moving money offshore to the Cayman Islands, and Stavros knows exactly what he's doing here. He calls Tom an actual friend in the same breath he's mining his divorce for a bit.
Something feels right about being with you in the summer, man.
Yeah.
We had such a beautiful... This is a Summer Bears reunion.
And it's one of those things where, you know, Tom has been public.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about when it comes to the Bears right now.
Yeah, Tom's been very public. And I said, and I'm good friends with Tom, and I just texted him, you know, checking in, how, you know, hope everything's good with the divorce, blah, 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 blah. And then I said, hey, man, dude.
Who's your guy?
Yeah.
You're like, where are you hiding your money? Because I'm getting... The reason... I've been thinking the reason you probably took so long to get married is because you were figuring out opening up accounts in the Cayman Islands.
Yes. Yeah. And the thing is, it just takes a little while because my father doesn't have a criminal background. So the Cayman Islands were just a little slow, but we did officially get it done. And it feels like...
And on paper, you're on food stamps.
Oh, dude. It's amazing, bro. It's amazing. I mean, yeah, dude. And so I asked Tom, I said, you know, dude, Stavros, you know, I know he's home now. He's been in the movies, but he's home. I said, we can kind of, if you want to... Summer Bears, if you need, and Tom's response was not happening this summer. So it's just one of those things where I think Tom is saying, you know what? I may get clipped in the divorce.
I think let them finish all their legal proceedings before they they learn their lesson.
Right. Yeah.
Trusting two idiots like us.
I know. Well, it was one of those things.
$1 million property.
Where I know I asked Tom once. Tom was like, I was like, how you liking Summer Bears or Winter Bears? He's like, dude, I love it. He was like, and I love it because the first 30 minutes of seemingly every episode is just you two shitting on Bert. So he was like, Bert kind of just, he was like, I watch Bert just kind of taking all this in about how the comedy scene really feels about him. And then he said, it's fun for me to watch Bert.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, smart for Tom, because this would have been his summer.
Oh,
this would have been the summer that Tom's in the crosshairs.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he's the shrewdest between the two of them.
And there it is again, the pattern. First, it was the room protecting its own. Now it's the friend group protecting its silence. Tom won't talk. He won't even bring Stavros back on his own show this summer. His silence isn't peace, it's damage control. But even that's not the most revealing part, because the next thing Stavros says isn't really about Tom Segura at all. It's about the entire Austin scene, and it's the part he saved for last. Now, to be fair to Stavros, a lot of people are going to say this is just how comedians talk to each other. Friendly ball busting. Comics have roasted their friends' worst moments forever, and nobody calls that a betrayal. Except Stavros doesn't stop at ball busting. On record, in the same conversation, he says anyone still defending the current administration is, quote, so stupid it's crazy. He says he's barely spoken to the mothership crew in months over it.
You should have a point of view, and you shouldn't come off it, and you should test that point of view amongst people that don't agree with you in many different crowds, many different types of audiences, and it's fine to have friends you don't agree with. Now, I've said this on record, and I really mean it. If right now you think Trump's doing a good job, you're you're so stupid, it's crazy. Yeah. Like we're in a legal war. Like what they're doing I promise you what's happening in ICE.
Yeah.
No good, brother.
No good.
No good. They're not covering it right now, but
right.
but look, as long as, and I'm not even saying if you voted for Trump, I'm friends with people who voted for Trump if they're like, maybe we kind of up doing this.
You'd like my group chat now.
I would
my
love
group chat is already.
The fact that even your group chat is like, what? Like,
one of the guys in my group chat the other day was like, hey, listen, I don't mean to. I love America.
Right,
Happy 250th
right.
anniversary. I love it. He goes, but I just would like to have a president where there's not so much commotion and chaos.
Exactly.
That's all. So he didn't necessarily say I hate Trump, but that was interesting.
Even one half criticism from a guy, from whoever that guy was.
Yeah.
That tells you things are bad.
Yeah, he told me. He was like,
also,
look.
I'm mad. I love the 250. I love America. But 100%. The 250, it would have been so. No, imagine 250 with Obama for real.
Oh my God.
Even if you're racist and you hate Democrats and you voted for Trump,
you
know Obama would have had the 250 nice.
That's not a roast. That's a professional and ideological line in the sand. And once you hear that, the divorce jokes stop sounding like friendship. They start sounding like leverage. But by far the most damning part of all this is what Stavros's criticism of the mothership actually confirms. Because around the same time, an account claiming to have witnessed a set at the club described a comic there testing out an explicit bit built entirely around a racial slur, and getting real laughs for it. Now, that account is unverified. We're not treating it as fact, but it lines up exactly with what Stavros has been saying for months, that the mothership rewards whatever gets the loudest reaction from a room that already agrees with you. Laugh quality be damned. Remember the opening? Stavros went down there to test an Elon Musk joke, the mildest possible material, and got treated like he'd committed a crime. Now flip it. If a joke that lazy gets a bigger laugh in that room than a joke about the richest man alive, that tells you everything about what the room actually wants. So when you step back and look at the whole week, Stavroshalkias didn't go after his friends because he stopped caring about them. He went after them because he's the last one still checking if the room is actually funny, or just safe. When a comedian's circle turns into a media empire, the friendship doesn't survive contact with the balance sheet. It gets quietly replaced by brand management. The moment a comedian's business gets too big to laugh at is the exact moment their closest friends become the only ones left willing to strike the match. Uncle Stav drops next month. Something tells us this isn't over. If you want part 2 the second this gets messier, subscribe. We'll be right here.